So for this series of videos, we're going to work on constructing a heating and cooling load using OpenStudio Energy Plus of this building. So I'm going to include a link to this building in the comment section of these videos, but I just wanted to give you an overview of what we see in this building first. There's 2 offices, 2 bathrooms, and a mechanical room. The offices and the bathrooms are kept at 70 degrees during operating hours, and the mechanical room is not heated or cooled, so not conditioned. So the first thing we're going to do is build the geometry of this building. The one thing to notice is that north is this way. So let's go ahead and open up Sketchup. And we're going to start using Sketchup. And it'll take a little bit to load. And as it's loading, let's look at the toolbars. So here are the SketchUp toolbars that I have open. Actually, I'm going to get rid of these 2 toolbars. And you can see these are the OpenStudio tools. The first thing you want to do is never ever ever save SketchUp. When we're using OpenStudio models, make sure you use the Save As button here or the Save button here. I always recommend that you use the Save As button. So I'm just going to relane this Energy 126 for video version 001. And usually I do version 001, that way I can keep saving and saving, and if I need to go back to a previous version of my model I can do that. So let's go ahead and hit save. So before we get started, let's just go over a few very simple SketchUp navigation things. The big thing is the camera. So you can zoom in and out, you can use the zoom tool here to do this, but the best thing to do, I think, is to use the mouse wheel. So I'm just using the mouse wheel to zoom in and out. And the nice part is then if I wanted to zoom in a different part of my model, I can zoom back in over here. So it zooms into whatever you're centered on. The next thing with the camera is that you can click and hold the mouse wheel, and this does orbit, so then you can orbit around and you can sort of see that. The next camera thing is hold shift and then click the mouse wheel, and then that's pan. So you can play around with that a little bit with SketchUp. So now what I'm going to do though is to make it easier to draw our building. I'm going to bring up the camera and I'm going to go to a standard view. I'm going to look from the top. So now when we have a 2D floor plan, it's a little bit easier to see that from the top. Now in this case, right now, the default is that the green is north. So if we go back to our sketch, that's good because that means it's the same, it'll look exactly like our sketch. Okay, so now we're going to draw some lines. Now with OpenStudio, what you really want to do is you want to draw the 2D floor plan, and then you'll see that we just pop it out to the floors that we're or to the building that we're going to construct. So let's go ahead, and I'm just going to construct our first wall. Now the other big thing with SketchUp is you never want to click and hold. You want to just click and then leave your mouse free. So I'm not holding the mouse button right now. I just clicked once on the origin. And now I want to go up to 25 feet. The problem is that it's hard to get exactly this, 25 feet, by moving my mouse. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the button 2.5, and then I need to make sure I hit the foot, which is a apostrophe. So I hit 25 feet and I hit enter. Now you can see I can't see the whole line, so what I'm going to do is zoom out. And then I'm going to pan a little bit, and now I can see the whole 25-foot line. Now it's 52 feet across, so I make sure that I'm following the red because I want these two, I want one to be on the green line and one to be on the red line, and I hit 52 apostrophe. So it makes it 52. Now what's nice is I can just go back down to the red axis because I know my other side of the building is the same length, and then I go over by 20 feet on the red axis. And then I go up 5, again on the green, and over 12, and then I know I go back down to the red and I close out the space. Now as soon as I close a complete thing in SketchUp, it's going to color for me, which is really nice. Now let's draw the separations for the bathroom and the mechanical room. I know I start at this end point, and I know my bathroom is 9 feet, and I go over. Now, this is the cool thing. You see that SketchUp uses this as a reference point, and you see that green dotted line there. So that's really nice, so then that way I don't need to worry about how far that wall is. The other thing it does is it does midpoint. I know the bathrooms are separated at the midpoint, so I can do that. And then I know my mechanical room is like this. Okay, so now we have the simple geometry. The next video is going to go over how to build this up.